All right, we are going to start off with a new Sinwali count. I'm going to try and show you a couple different ones today. First one I'd like to cover is one of my favorites. It's not exactly so much a weave, but it's just the inward, and the inward of the forehand, forehand, forehand motion. We tend to call it Kob Kob. I like this quite a bit because the mechanics of Kob Kob, if you do it properly, will translate into throwing punches, translate into throwing kicks. Everything you do involving a sort of twist of your hips as far as pushing off with your feet, everything you do has something you can take from Kob Kob in this. So what we want to do first and foremost, usually when we teach Kob Kob, we teach it in sort of a middle range. Right? And that middle range being my elbows are pinned to my sides. That way I don't force my swing to generate power, but I force my body to generate power. I still want to teach it that way first. We'll discuss a few other ranges with this Kob Kob motion here soon. So elbows are pinned to your side. Okay? I am not using my arms to generate power at all, but I am using my body. Right? My body twisting is what generates the power on the strike. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have these pinned. I'm going to turn and hit with my right stick across that center line. As I turn, I rotate all the way through that line, turning both of my feet. Turn back on the left. So hit the right, hit the left, hit the right, pause. Hit the left, hit the right, hit the left, pause. Right, pause, left, right, left. Pause. Okay, so again, right here, I hit the right. Notice how my body is all the way turned. So my strike generates that power, this hammering power, based on my hip motion. Okay, 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. Now, you don't have to add that pause. It's just a good way to kind of keep in mind if you're going to be incorporating it with, let's say, like a heaven six type thing, where it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, to kind of keep the numbers easy in your head. It could very well just be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 100, whatever you want to do, right? So one of the things I want to try and touch on with this before we get to the range differences of your arms is just like with our Heaven 6 and our Heaven 4 and all that fun stuff, you can adjust your elevation of your strikes. And when this was originally taught to me, it was taught that your feet don't move and it was all in your knees, right? I don't necessarily agree with that so much anymore after having some knee issues myself and after talking to some people, some of my other instructors. It's much more important to focus on the actual rotation that you're learning than it is this quick chopping motion. So what I'd like you to try and hit on here is I want you to hit a high line, a horizontal line, and then either down at the knees or you can cut that one up, whichever you want to do. You can do both. Down diagonal, horizontal, low down diagonal, low uppercut. Down, horizontal, uppercut, down, horizontal. I can go down this time first and then up this time. Okay? So again, every time I swing, no matter what shape I'm making with the stick, I am rotating my hips. No matter what elevation I'm at, I am rotating my hips. It does not matter as long as you rotate your hips. You can also end up getting your high, your low, your high, your low, your high. All that stuff plays in here as well. So I really want you to try and get some extra reps on Kob Kob. I know a lot of times in class we kind of just breeze past it as sort of a quick warm-up, mostly because everybody in class has done this stuff quite a bit, so they're well aware of how to torque their body. But if you will recall your first couple classes, we hit this sort of mechanic pretty hard, especially if you took more than just the Kali class, because we relate this motion here into throwing your crosses, into throwing that hook, into holding pads even, right? So it's really important for your development as a martial artist, to understand the link between your toes, your hips, and your arms. Now, I had mentioned that there's other ranges you can play with this. Now, right now we're playing strictly with elbows pinned to the side. I want you to start there. That's how you're gonna really learn the mechanics. Because if you start all the way out here, which is what we're gonna do now, then you're gonna end up just kind of hacking at it with your arms and you're not gonna learn the mechanics, okay? So this would be more of like a middle range. What I want you to do is I want you to really extend that arm as you rotate this through. Extend that arm, all the way out, all the way out, all the way out, and all the way out. Notice my arm is now, or my stick is hitting much further away from me than it was here, right? But I'm still taking the time to generate that torque all the way through my body. If I don't, then it's gonna look like this. And I can still hit fairly hard that way, but I'm not learning the mechanics that will carry me through into many other aspects of the martial arts. So from this angle here, we have the reaching Kob Kob. Again, focusing on the feet. And then we have a very close range Kob Kob, which I'll be honest with you, I had never even thought of doing this until Kurt Cornwell showed this in one of his classes. And I really like this. So we're still going to keep our elbows pinned, but we're going to hit puño to puño. Puño, 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 and puño, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You might go 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2. If I'm still keeping it as a 3 count rest, 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 3, rest. 4, 5, 6, rest. Notice again, I'm not just doing this. I'm still rotating and dropping that puño shot in each and every time. So that is 3 ranges of my arms during Kob Kob. Now, I mentioned this previously in my glove drill video and our Panatukan Muay Thai videos, but I have a metronome app. And on this metronome app, I have an ability, it's actually really cool, to every 20 seconds, it increases the tempo. I'm gonna shorten that to every 10 seconds just for the sake of this video. And it's gonna increase every 10 seconds, 10 beats per minute. So I'm gonna place this up by the camera here so we can make sure we hear this. And we'll give this a shot here. All right, so it's starting to get a bit fast for me to do without losing my breath completely. So I'd like to make sure I am still able to talk with you. But you can see how it quickly ramps up. You don't have to make it that quick. Do 30 seconds of each. Get into a rhythm, get that beat going, and then it'll change for you, and then keep it moving that way. It's a really fun tool, and it really helps with understanding the rhythm along with understanding your body mechanics. Now, I had mentioned I was going to show you a few other patterns of Sinwali. We're going to touch on that in next week's videos because it's going to end up tying to our walking drill. So to start with our walking drill, what I'd like to do is it's just the Kob Kob motion first. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a step, Kob, and step, Kob, step, Kob, step, Kob. Those of you guys who've done this quite a bit, you know the walking drill. It's pretty straightforward, but I'm just trying to make sure we keep this with our beat, right? So when we're doing this Kob Kob type motion, I want you to step and twist, step and twist, step and twist. And I know I'm getting close to the camera here, but the next set of this is you back up, step and twist, step and twist, step and twist, step and twist, step and twist. Now, just like before, I had shown you, you can do ipsilateral or contralateral, or again, ipsilateral or contralateral motions. Usually, when we do our walking drill, we focus on ipsilateral first, but contralateral feels a little bit, I think, a little bit easier. But it's this closed strike motion. And again, I want you to work as you hit, you really drop your hips and you drop your weight into it. So doing this as you move forward and backward. Again, you can even change your elevation with this. Will help you quite a bit as we continue to progress. Unfortunately, stuck at home without being able to be in the gym. So I hope you have fun playing with this. I know it's a super basic mechanic for some of you, but that's not a bad thing. You got to have a good foundation of basics. If you don't have a good foundation of basics, all this flashy, fancy stuff will never really pay off because you don't know how to put anything behind it. So I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, please reach out. Thank you very much.